Good morning, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Friday, June 25th. We've got one more day of showers and thunderstorms, and then the heat is on here in central and eastern Idaho. Those showers and thunderstorms today, a lot of storms will reducing a little bit of rain, but we're still looking at potential of more and more storms producing wetting rains. That means over 1/10 of an inch, and some of these may produce over 1/4 of an inch, especially in the southeast corner of the area today. That doesn't mean other areas won't see some decent rainfall with storms. That's just probably where the better potential is. That's where the better potential for thunderstorms will be, and that's where we have our red flag warning in effect for today. It's been a bit fickle with the cloud cover the past couple of days, but actually if you look at some of the stuff behind the scenes, that area today has the highest potential of thunderstorms we've seen the past couple of days, even if we do get a little bit of cloud cover in there this morning, which is actually already there. Before the high settles in, breezy northeast winds over the region, and like we said, potential still for all-time record highs, for not only for June and July, but for any day of the week, any month of the year coming our way. We do have moisture still across the area, but you see the ridge centered over British Columbia and Washington this morning. Like I said, that northeast flow is going to settle in over the next couple of days before that ridge shifts over us. Looking back, this moisture across eastern Idaho, it's still going to be there. It'll thin out just a bit except across the southeast corner, but still enough for thunderstorm potential across the area today. And like I said, across portions of the southeast highlands, also, that's where we have a red flag warning in effect for today. There will be some scattered thunderstorms, especially right along the Wyoming border up towards Driggs, Victor, and up into the Island Park area. Otherwise, more isolated activity. Those northeast winds producing lake wind conditions on American Falls Reservoir, especially Saturday, but still into Sunday. It'll be breezy over much of the area tomorrow, and there could be an afternoon lingering shower or storm down around Bear Lake. Otherwise, we start the slow warm-up Sunday, really hit it Monday into Tuesday, and Tuesday is where we run into a lot of our excessive heat issues, where our heat risk starts to really increase, and like I said, that continues into the next week, and there are some indications it may go to the 4th of July, if not beyond from there at this particular time, even if it's just a bit cooler. It's still going to be a pretty long period of excessive heat across our area, and the cumulative effects are going to be the problem. As we go through the period this morning, we still have a few showers and storms over the southeastern corner, and probably not a lot of lightning, maybe a strike or two there. Here we are by 10 or 11 o'clock. You can start to see things redeveloping across the region, and a lot of this will be driven by terrain, even across the southeast corner, and you can see by early to mid-afternoon a pretty good smattering of showers and storms there. Elsewhere, a lot of storms firing on the terrain, and they'll drift southeast across the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley. We'll have to watch for even additional thunderstorm development with outflow boundaries. Sometimes the models don't handle that really well, but it does look like we do have the potential of showers and storms again over the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley. Here we are into the afternoon and evening hours. Start to see things thin out, but we still have a little better chance between about 6 and 8 across the southeast corner. And then maybe a storm or two lasting till midnight. Going into tomorrow, there is that very small chance across the southeast corner, mainly around Blackfoot Reservoir, and then we're going to be done, it looks like, from there at this particular time. Looking at how temperatures are going to shape up and talking about the winds for tomorrow, and we'll get to that in a moment. Here are some of these heat wave stats that we're looking at. You can see several areas with daily record highs over the next week or so. Near 100 degrees. Stanley, believe it or not, has never been over 100 degrees. The warmest it's ever been, 96 degrees. The last time for that was 3 years ago. Another thing to consider, we talked about consecutive days of heat, and look at all of these consecutive days at or above 90 degrees for Pocatello. I don't think we're going to get there, but at or above 95 and at or above 100, those streaks are in jeopardy, not only in Pocatello, but in some of these other places too. And like we said, it's never gotten above 100 in Stanley. Looks like we're going to be close. I would suspect the at or above 90 or at above 95-day streaks in Stanley are definitely in jeopardy as well. And we talk about prolonged heat waves, these multiple days of heat. We're talking about not only very warm days, hot days obviously in the afternoon, and night with it being so hot it's going to be very hard to cool off, and that cumulative effect is what's going to cause our heat risk issues. And this type of event is going to be one that's really high risk for folks that don't have any way to stave off the heat, whether they don't have air conditioning, they don't have adequate cooling, a way to cool off. This is going to be a real issue for those folks. It's going to be an issue for your pets as well. Now, some key things to think about. Don't be out from late morning into probably really most of the afternoon. You want to stay hydrated and make sure you drink something that's going to keep you hydrated, something that's not actually going to act the opposite. There are quite a few drinks out there that will. Try to find some air conditioning. Fans, a lot of these cases may not necessarily be adequate for you. And another thing to think about, too, this many days of heat, a lot of folks, your air conditioners are going to be running 24/7 or most of the day. And if your air filter is not ready to go, is not fresh, your air conditioning unit may have a little bit of issue, may be struggling quite a bit during this event. So for today, we don't have to worry about that. Temperatures in the 80s, probably no warmer than the mid-80s across portions of the Snake Plain into the Magic Valley and Treasure Valley. Chalice, 85 degrees. Heading to the mountains, it'll be in the 70s to near 80 degrees. Tomorrow morning, temperatures not too far off, maybe just a little bit cooler in some areas than we're looking at for this morning. Staying a little warmer where we have that downplane wind across the Magic Valley where it's a little more breezy in this type of pattern. And here are those winds. Most of the winds will be during the day tomorrow, and you can see when we peak tomorrow afternoon and evening, some areas hitting 30 to 35 miles an hour for gusts. And like I said, that's definitely strong enough for a northeast wind event on American Falls Reservoir. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be just a little bit warmer. We're going to start to see some low 90s creeping back into the picture. Going into Sunday, still a little bit warmer with that easterly wind across the Magic Valley into the Treasure Valley. And the winds will still be gusty out of the northeast Sunday. Strongest will be during the early part of the day where some gusts around 20 to 30 miles an hour will be present. And there you can see the temperatures creeping up on Sunday. Going into Monday, temperatures even warmer, some places hitting the mid to upper 90s for highs on Monday. And you'll notice we continue to see these overnight lows creeping up just a bit. I'll repeat this again. It's the cumulative effect of very hot days and really not being able to cool off a whole lot during the overnight hours. That's really going to be the issue with this event. We're going to be near 100 in the Magic Valley. Elsewhere, we're pushing well into the 90s across the lower elevations. We continue to kind of show you, where things might be in terms of our temperature ranges. Looking at Pocatello starting on Tuesday. Temperatures likely in the 90s. We might hit the low 100s, and you can see those ranges continuing to climb on Wednesday and Thursday. Same for Friday. You'll notice that spread gets a little bit bigger, and the reason is this. The models are trying to say, hey, we're going to have some moisture in here. Not really banking on that at this point. A lot of times with the extreme heat events like this, any small amount of moisture, even anything that barely produces a cloud, a lot of times the models think we're going to have thunderstorms all over the place, or at least some chance of thunderstorms. Don't get excited about that. Even if we do and it cools off the temperature a couple of degrees, it's really not going to impact the long-term impacts with this event. It's not really going to affect that. By the time we get into Saturday, still temperatures, looking at temperatures above 100 in most cases, and the same for the 4th of July. Temperatures ranging for at least Pocatello, the range mid-90s to low 100s. Looking at Chalice, you'll see temperatures will probably be peaking Tuesday into Wednesday. We might see temperatures trying to reach the mid-100s. The same for Thursday, as a matter of fact. And then we start to see things backing off a little bit, and that's that model thinking it might try to storm by the time we get to the 4th of July weekend. And we've been showing you Stanley, and still not expecting temperatures to be all that cool. We're expecting probably temperatures ranging in the mid to upper 90s in a few cases. The potential is dropping for it to reach 100 in Stanley. Still have to think about that, though. That's something that is definitely a possibility with this particular event. So like we said, we have showers and storms in the forecast today. Before the ridge really gets in here, it's going to start to slowly warm up over the weekend, but some breezy northeast winds, and then things really start to pick up by the time we get into Monday. Everyone, have a safe day, have a safe weekend, and with this heat coming up, make sure you are adequately prepared for several days of excessive heat. Stay safe out there, everyone.